Hey everybody, welcome back to the Soholux Realty YouTube channel. Today, the topic of discussion is going to be renovating multifamily apartment units. And we have a case study. I'll toss it to Laythe, the 35 unit project we did in Garner.
Yeah, so we finally went full cycle on that. What did you say, 3 months ago?
Yeah, so we bought the property in March of 2024, and we finally just finished renovating all 35 of the units like a month or two ago.
I think it was close. We were closer to finishing during March. I think we just got leased, fully leased.
Oh yeah, fully leased. Okay.
Last month, and that was a breath of fresh air right there.
Yeah.
Getting that done. I mean, it's anybody that's renovated a house, a townhome, even a kitchen, understands how much brain damage, one little project could be, and then multiply that times 35. I mean, it's no fun task. I mean, this is what we do for a living, but for the average Joe, I'd say it's better to watch what's that TV show, HGTV, and just pretend like you're expert there, because anything and everything that can go wrong will go wrong at one point. It's just a matter of time, and having the right crew and the right guys and the right oversight. I mean, it takes a lot of components to get to the finish line. It's never a narrow task.
Yeah, and moving off of that, I mean, like, the renovation process is a lot dependent upon the product that you're buying. So, like, you learn from experience, but, I don't care how much you study, how much you read books, listen to podcasts, you learn from doing. So we learned from doing this project, and this project involved a 70s vintage, not a super small complex. I mean, it's not like it's 2, 4, 6 units, it's 35. But you learn about the intricacies of what you have to do from a renovation standpoint based on that product. So like 70s vintage, aluminum wiring, it's almost always gonna be there. You gotta be aware of that. That's a big headache when it comes to renovations. The property's been in existence for 50 plus years. I mean, subfloor issues, concrete issues, siding issues, you name it.
Issues.
Yeah, you name it.
There was one unit, funny enough, and I know you probably remember this, where the old owner on the second level poured concrete as the flooring.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
the self-leveler or whatever?
No, it was just pure concrete. It was like 3 inches of concrete on a second floor level, and it was surprisingly the subfloor supported it. But you see, when I say nothing goes as planned, nothing ever goes. We had to bring in a jackhammer to jack up all the concrete to be able to put actual flooring down.
So in this project, we had to also sub-meter the water. So there were no individual meters, and ideally you want to bring the leases as close to triple net as possible, meaning basically the tenant covers every expense and you as the landlord just, you don't have to deal with the expenses of that tenant living, paying for electricity, paying for water, yada, yada, yada. We had to do that sub-metering. And that cost, what, $15,000 for 35 units? I think it was
just for the supplies. That was just for supplies.
I thought it was supplies 10 and then labor was 5, or vice versa. Labor 10. For whatever reason, I thought it was 15.
You're actually right.
Yeah, whatever. 15,000. And then how much was the aluminum remediation per unit? You probably remember that better than I do. Like, what was it? $100 for like 40 of the.
It was about $220. This one box didn't cover an entire unit, so you always have to buy 2. But
and then you have to pay the electrician. Make sure he knows what he's doing to code.
Yeah.
But yeah, so our average, so it obviously varies for square footage, 1 bed versus 2 bed, but I mean, our all-in cost for the 2 bed was what, like 15 or something like that?
I think that's what we projected.
17.
I think it came in like 16.2.
Yeah.
Right. Especially with all the odd things we found inside the units. But I mean, just the ballpark of $16K for the 2 beds, and then I think we were around like
11, 12.
$11K for the 1 beds.
Yeah.
which were higher than what we expected. But
yeah,
you know, it doesn't matter how many times you renovate an apartment. There's always, as I mentioned before, always something that's going to pop up that you can never underwrite, you can never expect until you start peeling the layers back and seeing what's going on. And
I mean, you think about like the renovation process in an apartment complex versus a house. I mean, a house is going to be more square feet 9 times out of 10 than an apartment unit, but at the end of the day, it's one door. It's one door, so it's in one condition because the sample size is one. I mean, if you have, you know, in our case, 35 or you have 300 units, depending on the past tenants, it's going to be like someone treated it worse than the next person. That unit's in worse shape. Hey, we told the bank we have a standard budget for every unit. We're going to have to go over on this one because the subfloor's destroyed. Like, there are just... there are definitely, there's a variance from the apartments to the single family. But at the end of the day, the apartments, you have more doors, you can make more rent and income.
Yeah. And so people will say, so why renovate the apartments?
Yeah.
And that's a great question. So when we initially bought the complex, it was bringing in $29,000 in change. After a month after we finished renovating and finished leasing up the entire complex, not only did we sub-meter the water, so now we're not paying, you know, the $50 per tenant times 35 every month. So we saved costs on that and things, but also the rent roll now is $42,500 and some change. So not only did we increase our top line revenue, we decreased our expenses by submetering the water. So we're not doing this for fun. We're doing it strictly to make money. And, you know, we wouldn't be doing this if we weren't making money at the end of the day. So even though it is brain damage, there's a reason why we do this. And there's a reason why we've done this every year for the past 3 years on similar projects and similar size apartments.
Yeah, advice for anyone that's wanting to do this themselves, renovate multifamily. My advice would be like, and I kind of sound like a hypocrite because I said, you know, you can only watch so many videos where you have to do it. I mean, you have to do it eventually, and that takes some gall. Like some people are just going to overanalyze and they're scared, they're never going to take action. But you should be more prepared than you think. Like, everyone's always eager. They want to go ahead and do their first deal. I don't think that'll ever go away, but like, you know, it's not as simple as, hey, we want to get 30 units. It's like, you need to understand the micro location, the vintage, who's the current owner, how do you take care of the property, who are the current tenants. Like, you need to understand all this stuff so you can have the best idea possible without actually stepping into the units yourself to be like a psychic and put yourself in there. Like, I know, I can look at it. If you see a tenant and you see their unit, you can literally probably picture exactly what their unit's going to look like.
100%.
You know what I mean? And I'm not going to go into any more detail on that for obvious reasons, but you know, like.
Oh yeah. I mean, their car is the same way. You look at their car, if they got shit everywhere in the back, they got their bumper hanging off.
Yeah.
I already know we're going to have to go in, new flooring, new paint, everything.
You see, Daniel, you know his place is going to have, you know, at least 405 on the bar somewhere in the place.
Couple. He's probably a candle guy too. Probably got a couple
for sure. He's got oil. He's oiled himself in the mirror and flexing. But no, I'm serious. Like you know, it's like honestly, like, well.
So I would argue in today's real estate, and I'm just talking Raleigh.
Yeah.
To be in real estate, you would have to understand renovations, because even with these duplexes,
it's unaffordable.
The minimum duplex being sold right now is probably $400, $450,
and it doesn't make any sense.
And the rents are $1,000 a pop. You're not going to make money unless you go into that property, rip out the cabinets, rip out the flooring, rip out all the appliances, and you put top of line, you know, features in there. I mean,
it doesn't even make sense if it's renovated at those prices. That's like the thing that people don't get, right? I mean, think about it. Like, so it's like basically, I think it's more so the smaller stuff, dude. I honestly swear is becoming more of like just like a steady return play on cash, but it's more so just like a tax write-off.
I don't think it's a cash on cash play. I think it's more just appreciation. If they could break even and in 6 years make 100, 200,000, selling it.
And depreciation, right?
I mean, I was one of those guys buying duplexes back in the day.
Yeah, but that was cheap.
And it was cheap.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, this is genius. And now in today's age, it's like you look at a property. I looked at a one bed, like there's 2 1-beds each side in Durham under contract for like $500,000, and they're getting $1,200 in rent. I'm like, how is anyone making sense of buying this property?
Yeah.
It blows my mind, but I guess they just have enough money, and like you said, they're trying to get the depreciation, and I guarantee the cash flow's not there.
Yeah,
I mean, think about one hot water heater, your cash flow's gone for the entire year, but I think it's just solely based on appreciation.
Yeah, and I'll just say this before we wrap things up. One other thing that I feel like is important to note is like you mentioned, like buying a duplex is like that's not even possible now.
No.
But it was possible then, and you took action then, which was smart. But everything is cyclical. Like, and this applies not just to real estate, like the macro economy. I don't care if you're in banking, like pharmaceuticals, whatever. Like everything always is working on a cycle. So there's hot times, there's cold times. Understand that, and specifically where you are in that cycle before you take action. But anyway, we're gonna wrap this here. If you've liked this content, there's a bunch more coming. Comment what you like down below, like the video if you want to see more, and subscribe to the channel. We'll see you in the next one.